Hey, Akeem Talib here. Call to the booth. My co-star Harrison Sanford. Harrison, I really like that intro beat, man.
Hey man, I seen you vibing over there.
I really like that intro beat, Harrison. Hey, I hope y'all liked our show on Wednesday. Hope y'all got some good information from us. Harrison, give them a sneak peek, man, of what we got going today.
Hey, Keith, I think a lot of our fans are really going to enjoy this Friday show. If you're into fantasy football, which I assume you are, if you're tuning in, we're going to break down all the key matchups between the wide receivers and the DBs, and who else but to give you advice and somebody who's been to the Pro Bowl multiple times. And then on top of that, by the end of our show, we're also going to have our DFS lineup for week 1, where we break down the decisions that Akeem would make if he was putting money on things, or if you're putting money on things, helping you guide you make your decisions. And then also we'll kind of break down the rest of the divisions that we didn't cover in our Wednesday show. But first,
if you're not following, you can't make the A-plus matchups of the week.
Let's get started with our biggest matchup of the week, or at least one of them.
One of them.
The NFC South battle between Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore. How does it play out?
Man, that's one of the A-plus matchups of the week, definitely. So this matchup is interesting, man, because I mean, you kind of judged on what you did lately, you know. And last time they played against each other, Lattimore strapped him, 0 catches, 0 yards, completely shut him down. So it was a different quarterback. The year before, Evans was pretty successful, 147 yards, I think, maybe a touchdown or something the first game. In the second game, Lattimore kind of held his own. This is 18. This is the year before. He kind of held his own. He had him 80 yards. He had an interception. So in my book, Lattimore won 1, Evans won 1. Last time they played last year, Lattimore won that matchup. So this year, man, with all those targets being around Tom Brady, Gronk over here, OJ over here, Goodwin over here, I really think Tom will find a different matchup that he really likes. So I don't know if the targets will be there for Mike Evans to really go off. I don't think it'll be 10, 11 targets for him to really go off like that. So I think Lattimore has him under control, maybe a 70, 80-yard day, couple catches, no tubs. I think Lattimore wins the matchup.
Yeah, so that's going to be the unique thing when it comes to looking at the Bucs this year. Obviously, Mike Evans is somebody that everybody liked to pick last year or throughout the entirety of his career. But with so many options and a shutdown corner, it's going to be hard to kind of lean on him or expect him to have a big day. Obviously, he's super talented, so he still could, but it's kind of hard to put your guarantee on it.
Right.
So let's break down our second matchup. And this is a little bit more widespread because there's a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. We have the Browns offensive unit, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Baker Mayfield at quarterback, versus the Ravens, one of the top defenses in the NFL, coming off a disappointing end in the playoffs. Week 1, how does it play out? Would you play Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry against the secondary?
This is a tough one. It's super interesting though. I almost wanted to put Gilmore and Devontae Parker in this spot right here, but this matchup was so interesting, man. I just had to go do the whole unit. You know what I'm saying? So last year, once Marcus Peters actually went over to the Ravens, that's my dog. That's like my little brother too, man. MP, shout out MP. But when he did get over there, they played against the Browns, and the Ravens pretty much had those guys under control, man. O had like 40 yards or something like that. He scored a touchdown, one on MP, and I think Landry might have had 60, 70 yards or something like that. Let's see here, 75 yards. So it's a lot. It has a lot to do with the QB play at Cleveland, man. QB, you come out and you on fire. You absolutely on fire. He giving them jump balls, 50-50 balls. I think it could be a hell of a day. But if Baker come out and kind of be what he was on last year, then it's gonna be the same results as last year. But I just like the matchup because both teams gonna go well. They're gonna go 3 receivers. They're gonna go nickelback. Humphries and Landry are both move inside, so they're gonna be locked together, locked in, matching up all day long. And Odell, he goes to that side a lot. He goes to his offensive right, the defensive left side a lot. That's where MP would be at. So they'll see each other a lot that game, man. It's big on big all the way around. I think Baker gonna have a lot to do with it. But let that thing fly, Baker, man. Get them boys a chance, man. Get them boys a chance, man. Let them compete. Throw that ball around, man. But going off last year, I got to go with the Ravens on the matchup, man. They added some guys to that D-line. I think they're going to be able to slow the run down. But I got to go with the Ravens just based off last year. But Baker, prove me wrong, baby.
Looking at give me some of your expertise here when people are making their decisions as it pertains to the Browns. Am I right in assuming that Odell or Jarvis Landry, you could see them they could move to the slot. It's not necessarily they're going to be outside wide receivers, so maybe they won't always get shadow coverage or things like that where you might be worried about other type of receivers who only stay on the outside. It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like both of them playing the slot at times.
Yeah, well nowadays, man, if a guy going to follow, he going to follow. If you're going to slot, he's coming. So if a guy's shadowing you, you're not going to get away from it. But for the most part, Landry is the inside guy. Landry is that slot guy for the most part. So I don't even think Landry would be the guy who gets the number one corner shadow. If somebody going to shadow, they're going to shadow Odell. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, he'll be an outside. So if he has a number one receiver following him, that guy pretty much be on him all day. So, I mean, that could be good or that could be bad. You know, it matter how Baker feeling, man. They so talented. Cleveland is so talented, man. I was born in Cleveland. I want them guys to be so good. Baker, let's go, baby. You got it. Number one pick, baby. You got it.
Being born in Cleveland, you being born in Cleveland and me spending 4 years in Ohio covering both NFL teams, I must say, I got to salute the Browns fans, man. There are some loyal fans through thick and thin. They are showing support. It's unlike anything I've seen. They're a real good fan base there. Hopefully they
got a reason to. I mean, the front office is doing what they got to do, man. They got bodies in there. They got talented guys in there. Man, if they got a problem here, O-line, D-line, whatever it is, the next season they fixing that problem. But hey, man, the leaders got to lead, baby. The leaders got to lead.
So, Aqib, we went through two of your matchups already, and you kind of alluded to it in terms of like a shadow cornerback. What's the one rule if you want to be a cornerback featured in the A-plus matchups?
If you want to be featured in the A-plus matchups, you got to follow, man. You got to follow. You got to match guys in the slot, follow them wherever they go. That Ravens and Browns, that was an exception just because that's big on big. But for the most part, you got to follow, man. A-plus matchups.
And one guy who will do that, and I know you have some familiarity with him, Jalen Ramsey is going to be following, as I think you're going to predict here, Amari Cooper in that Sunday matchup. Well, how do you think that one plays out for Dak Prescott as a quarterback going to his newly paid wide receiver?
Definitely. But Jalen Ramsey, he definitely gonna follow, man. He's a competitor. He's an absolute competitor, man. Guys can say what they want to say about whatever they want to say about him. That competitive edge that's what gets you $100 million. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of the most competitive guys in our league. So he definitely gonna be following. So, but Dak and Amari, I think this may be another situation like I said about the Bucs, man. He got, Gallup over here, CeeDee Lamb. Shit, last year they played the Rams and they ran for damn near 300 yards, 270 yards rushing or something crazy like that. So Amari only had one catch for 19 yards, but I mean he didn't really have to do anything. It was a running game, you know what I'm saying? So I think the game could go similar with the Rams having trouble stopping the run, or Dak really liking one of those other matchups, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely say Ramsey will win the matchup just because of the circumstances of the game. But
so it feels like a Michael Gallup type of week. I know
it might be a Michael Gallup. Troy Hill, that's Troy. Now don't get me wrong. Troy Hill on the other side is a talented player. He's super talented, and I think he's gonna make a name for himself this year. But I don't know what it'll be. Maybe it's a slot. Maybe it's CeeDee Lamb matchup, man. Maybe it's that tight end they got over there. Maybe it's that run game. If the run game if they rush for 265 yards again,
you don't need to throw the ball.
You don't need to throw the ball, right? Amari Cooper is not gonna have a big day. So,
indeed.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see if the Rams come out this year stopping that run. They had trouble stopping that run last year, so we'll see, man.
We dipped into it a little bit. So when we come back, why don't we just go full force? We're going to break down the NFC East. We're going to break down the NFC West with some more superlatives that we touched on from our Wednesday show.
Want more dope content? Subscribe and check out the YouTube channel. And while you at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Call to the Booth.